I, to be frank, did not know much about Saint Therese the Saint before coming here. I actually thought she was the perfect Carmelite nun that prayed every day, loved praying every day, prayed 3 rosaries a day, was never annoyed, like the perfect saint. And she died at 24 of tuberculosis, as so many saints do, apparently. And wrote a book about her life, and she had all of her stuff together, the perfect saint. And that, in my mind, is what holiness was. I thought holiness was perfection. And I am so happy that this year I learned that's not the case. Before coming to Saint Therese, I was of this mindset where perfection is holiness and holiness is perfection. And I won't lie, I was not doing any of those things. I could barely pray 2 minutes a day, every day. Mass was always a struggle, was always difficult. And living the faith life was, dare I say, not enjoyable, but in fact was a pain. And I knew there was truth, and I knew there was goodness in it, and I knew it was the way to heaven. And I believed that, and I believed that deeply. But I just, for some reason, I could not get past this struggle of, this isn't mine. I don't enjoy this yet. And if I'm struggling to pray 2 minutes a day, if I'm struggling to focus to Bishop Mark's long homilies, like, I can't be holy if I can't listen to this great man. I did think myself a hopeless case when it came to being a Christian. And I did see myself in many ways as a failure of a Catholic. I couldn't do any of the things that I thought was holiness. Now, I heard about the school, and I'm not gonna lie, I just immediately signed up. I heard about it, and now that I think about it, I didn't know much, if anything, about this place. I've told so many of the people that the only thing I really knew about St. Therese was when to show up. It was definitely God being like, you need this place so much. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll go to this place in random small town in Saskatchewan. Where I live is a 22-hour drive away, and we're gonna see what happens. And I did not know how much I actually needed this place, and how much it really changed my life, and changed my view of what holiness is. I actually remember learning about this Saint Therese of Lisieux, in the first week of class, learning that she was in fact not a perfect person. She was a very broken child and a very sickly child. She had hard times praying, could barely keep control of her emotions, and even doubted heaven in some stages of her life. Saint Therese, one of the most well-known saints of the world, doctor of the church, Carmelite nun, she doubted heaven? How did she become a saint? How? How can someone who struggles to pray become a saint? I did not understand this, because I had such a warped view of what holiness really was. But learning that she was in fact relatable and that she in fact was a saint made me realize there's hope for me yet. I can do this. And she, in many ways, she was just like me. She wasn't a superhuman. She was a regular person, an average Joe, you can say. But I saw how this imperfect person like me could get to heaven, and I was like, how did she do it? How? What did she do that got her to heaven? What was it? What's her secret? What was her like, oh, I do this and then boom, I'm holy? And I learned very quickly that she got to heaven, not on her own will, not on anything she did, not on her own strength, but on God's strength. Let me give you an analogy. Can we all agree that a child cannot really take care of themselves? You can just ask my mom, that's very true. All a child really does and can do is let their parents take care of them. And for that, they trust their parents. And all they can really do is receive love from their parents. That's what a child does. They don't do anything else. That's it. That really is it. And Saint Therese knew that in order to go to heaven, she had to be that child in God's eyes. She couldn't do anything on her own. She was just a child. She would spill the milk. She would do this, she would do that. A child, like any child does. But she knew that she needed, in a way, a parent like God to take care of her, to carry her, and to show her the way. Because she could not do it, and she knew she could not do it on her own. This is her spirituality. To know that you are weak, but to know even more that God is strong. And that He will take care of you. Learning this has changed my life. It has changed my view of holiness. And it has given me hope that I can, in fact, become a saint. And that I can get to know God better. I had put the weight of holiness on my shoulders and tried to do it all myself. And it was through this place that I realized that God does most of the heavy lifting. And not all we really have to do is cling on to Him, and He will do the walk. He will walk the walk for us. And I can say with absolute certainty that every student that has been to this program can say that they have in fact encountered God's love here. And it has healed them, brought them joy, and brought them peace.